Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's KB5MIQ Big Boy. Got old ham radio cat up here. Come up here and let everybody see you. You don't get up on like you used to. Aaron, old buddy, he still hangs around with me. We got a few things we're going to talk about today. One thing, the power of social media uh, and the way things you see on it. I'm not knocking social media. It's new stuff around, been around for several years, and good way to keep track of friends and information, and you see a lot of stuff on there that's a little crazy too. Um, but it hit social media this week that TenTec had closed its doors. In fact, one of our listeners, Chris Howell, one of our earlier winners, sent me an email on that and said, now this may not be true. Then about an hour later, sent me another email saying, well, they had retracted it. But I saw it, and it got me to thinking. Uh, Honestly, I didn't know TenTec was still in business. I Somebody all chime in and correct me if I'm wrong. I remember back when I first got in this hobby, you would see TenTec advertise in some ham radio like AES, old AES store. But I hadn't seen them advertised in years. As a matter of fact, after this second round on this video, after I made the first one, I got a QST and on the air out and went through the classified section. I ain't found an ad for TenTec anywhere. Um, you still see Mosley running an ad. You don't see Mosley products listed with a dealer. You have to buy them from Mosley, but they've been around forever, and you still see their products. TenTec's got a website, and they got HF rigs on it and everything. Somebody explain to me why they don't advertise like they used to. I don't know. I've never heard anything bad about a TenTec radio. In fact, I've looked at one. I've looked at a couple of used ones over the years. Looked at one about 2 years ago up at Mena. Come up on a guy on a table, had one worth the money, and I was kind of been looking at it, and I went back to look at it, and there was a young guy there that was a new ham trying to make a deal on it for his first rig, so I said, man, I wouldn't interfere with that or nothing. Let that guy get that radio, and he did. That's good. So, not knocking TenTec. I don't understand their advertising practices, but they're still in business, and so be worth checking out. Mentioned that on the roundtable the other night, and Jeff brought up another subject that honestly I didn't know was still in business. That's Heathkit. I don't know when somebody brought them back or what, but they got a website, and they don't have near the in-depth and radio kits that the old Heathkit company had. But they do sell some kit building stuff, smaller style kits. I got to laughing looking at them. I'd have to pick out whichever one me and Cody can build, because after I start it, Cody will have to finish it like a clock. But that's beside the point. But one thing about Heathkit site, and Jeff brought this up, there's a ton of old Heathkit gear still floating around out there. In fact, KI5TKY Tim just bought a matching Heathkit transmitter receiver up at Mena. And this site says they have copies of the manuals that you can buy for all the old rigs. So for that reason alone, if you're going to rebuild a Heathkit radio, it would be worth checking that website out. So, a couple of companies that I thought were gone that are still out there. So it's worth looking into. Got a slide on here, KV5SIX. Any of you guys looking for an HF radio and a LDG auto tuner? He's got a rig worth the money, I think. And I know, and I've seen Vern's gear, and it's immaculate. He takes very good care of his gear, and he's wanting to sell a ICOM 718 and an LTG. I got it on a slide here, auto tuner. $500 for both, and his call signs, everything's on the slide. His email's on his QRZ page. If you happen to be interested, shoot him an email. I guarantee you, whatever Vern says about that, it'll be right. And like I said, I've seen his gear, and he takes good care of his stuff. Couple social media issues today. One, there was a guy put a social media issue on there about who has rights to a frequency. All right, and this comes up all the time. There's a lot of HF nets, especially on 40 and 80 meters. and I'm sure they're on 20 too, but a lot of them on 40 and 80, and a lot of these nets have been on there for years. And I know that this is probably going to aggravate some people saying this. You do not have a right to a frequency. Even if you're a net that's been there for 30 years on that frequency, you don't have a right to. Now, in an effort for courtesy in ham radio, this is how we handle the roundtable. We always say we're going to be on 28,450, but if we're not there, just start tuning up and look for us. Two reasons. One, if a station's already occupied, we move. And we've had this happen several times. The band will open up, and there's actually some U.S. nets on 28,450 on 10. We'll move. If they're fixing to run a net, in fact, they've offered to move for us, but no, we'll move, because it's easier for 4 or 5 of us to move than it is if you're sitting there and it's a big net where they have a lot of check-ins. Even if they say, okay, we're going to move the net, not everybody on that net's going to know they moved, and they're all going to come there and try to check in, so this is going to be an interruption on y'all. So, to me, the courteous thing to do is just move and let them have their frequency. POTA stations, that's different. Vern can answer POTA better than I can, but I know when they post a POTA station, they're going to be on a certain frequency. So you might have to move and update your POTA spot to a different frequency, but, and I'm not making allowances for them old guys to sit there and run you off a frequency, because they do not have the right to do that. Whoever's first on the frequency's got it. It's just, to me, less abruption on the airways and less interference if you're on, especially if you know it's an established net that's been there forever. I just give them the frequency and tune off. That's my policy. I'm not telling you to do that. That's just how I do that. Another guy posted about pros and cons of joining a ham club, and I've touched on that through several different videos. My first experience with a ham club wasn't good at all. Second experience, one over in Shreveport, was real good. I went over years ago, got tested. I done my upgrades through them. I recently joined 4 States Amateur Radio Club out of Texarkana. I joined it back in the spring of the year, and I really enjoyed it. Good club. They maintain several repeaters, do a lot of public service work there in the Texarkana area. Always, I've seen visitors show up that weren't club members. Some of them weren't even hams, just interested in ham radio. They always made them feel welcome. So, my recommendation, if you've got a club in your area that you're interested in, visit them. You don't have to join to be there. Just visit them. And you can tell right quick probably whether you'd want to be a part of it. And if it's a good club, you'll find some Elmer help there. Might find some good used gear deals through the club. So it's always worth checking them out. And like I say, I'm a member of a real good club, and I really enjoy being a part of it. Well, I can't think of much else. We got Thanksgiving coming up. Hope everybody has a good, safe Thanksgiving. MTC's got a lot of good sales this week. The Black Friday stuff going on. Hey, Ham Radio Cat, you're getting up there in everybody's face today. Just remember them up there through Black Friday. They've always got some good deals going up there at MTC. Check out your club pages. Check out your ham radio Facebook pages. Good areas, good avenues for information. Always stuff that you can check out on there. If you get a chance to go to a ham swap meet, go check out the gear. That's a good place to start. Like I said, Richard's used gear up there. A lot of his comes in 30 days. And if you're interested in good HF radio, contact Vern through email. His email's on his QRZ page. I guarantee you that's a good rig. Appreciate everybody who's subscribed to the channel. We're at 776 subscribers. Getting close to that 800. We got a giveaway for 800, a giveaway for 900, and right now I'm planning on giving a radio away at 1,000. This is KB5 MIQ Big Boy 73. Oh crap. I just forget to turn this remote on every time.